everybody, it's Barbie from Nellie and Ruth Designs, and welcome back. This is part 2 of my favorite craft supplies and tools. I didn't plan on making a part 2, but when I made part 1, my internal storage on my phone had run out, so I only got 27 minutes. I had to make a second half of part 1, and I had left quite a few things out. And in the meantime, I had found some other items. These are bigger items that I want to show you. First, I want to thank you for joining in, for watching all my past videos and this video. So sit back, relax, and I'll show you the larger tools that I have. And you have to remember, for anyone that's just beginning, that's watching this video, I've been collecting and receiving gifts from my mom and making purchases on my own for 23 years. So I've acquired a lot. I've really thought about, the larger tools, what I needed, what I do, how I craft. So I'm just sharing some little ideas and products with you today. I don't get paid for showing products. I'm not a representative for any of the products I am showing you today. These are just items that I have purchased from different companies over the years that I find I really like, and they're a necessity. They're a must-have for me in my craft room. So with that being said, let's get started. So first, I guess I'm going to get the two big items out of the way because they're really taking up a lot of room on my desk. All right, so I'm sure a lot of you have, and excuse the dust, I have not used this in a while. And with my bright lights, city lights, you can see the dust. Well, anyway, we'll ignore that. But the cinch machine, and I dare you to say that 7 times fast in a row, I use because I make my own storage books. Many years ago, I'll remove this, but I just want you to get a look at it. I know there's a lot of people out there that have a cinch. There are people that don't know possibly about a cinch machine and what it could do. I highly recommend, there's a lot of YouTube videos on how to use this machine. And I'm going to ask those that do have one. My handle, it does not spring up anymore. I have to really pull it up. It almost feels like it needs a good oiling or something. It goes down just fine. I don't know if my cinch has seized up, but if anyone has a recommendation for me, I definitely do not want to go out and buy a new one. But when I use this, I really have to pull it up, and then I have to stand up and push it down with all my might. So I really don't know what the problem is. I don't know of anyone that repairs these or looks at them. But if you know if there's a way to oil the inside without making a mess, and if that's something I have to do, I'd love to hear from you. So I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you what I use it for. And there's also 2 types of let's see, I want to get the proper name. I call them binding wires. There's 2 types of binding wires. And again, please try to buy these on sale. I can get them right here, 62 cents. This one is normal price, $2.49. And the only place I've been able to find these is Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still carry them. I have a good supply. I have a whole 32 bag full of these, so I don't need to buy these for a long time. But as you can see, you can get them for a very inexpensive price. So I'll show you the 2 different binding wires, and they do come in different sizes. You just have to decide what size you would like to use. for your project. So this binding wire here, let's see, this one is the spiral. This is a 1-inch spiral binding. And it's very easy to feed through. And you do have to have, I have a tool. This is the Cinch Tool right here. And this is the tool that it cuts the wire. This is your wire cutter. Let me get my little, this is your wire cutter right here. All right, that snips the wire. And then this point here, this is the one that folds this wire here. You're going to have to fold it and bend it a little bit. I had to watch multiple YouTube videos just to get the hang of, you know, especially putting this spiral on, so when you turn your pages, it doesn't keep spiraling through, because it will do that. It'll just feed itself on the way out. So you do have to bend it at each end. These are little books. I'm going to try to do a YouTube video on these. These are little books that I make. These have been through the war because I use them all the time. But you can see here, it's a very easy process. Your cinch machine punches these holes, and then all you do is you line up your pages, and then you put your spiral, you would just feed through like this. The other type of wire, you actually have to crimp it. You do that on the cinch machine. And again, like I said, go and look at the YouTube videos that are out there and available. But you know, they hold up very well. This book that I made to hold, this is my stamp book. And like I said, this will be fun. We'll make one of these on my YouTube video, because it has pockets on each side, and then for your longer, taller items, it has a pocket at the top. And you can use these for anything, really. I've made these for girls, and you know, they love them. I have no idea what they use them for, but they do hold a lot. They hold up. This is regular. These are made out of each pocket is made out of 1 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. So these are fairly easy to do. The only thing with your cinch you have to remember is when I'll show you on the other one, when you put your front covers on, there's a special way to do it. But again, anyone out there that has a cinch tutorial, they will show you how to do that. So this is the spiral binding here. These here are the, let me get the right terminology. These are the binding wires. And these come in 3/4 inch, inch, 1/2 inch, 2 inch. Like I said, these come in all different sizes. So again, it just depends on the size of your book, what you're doing. This one you can see is a little bit larger, this binding wire here. And this is a cute little, I haven't put any photos in this yet, but this is of the seashore. And these are fun little books to make. These make really nice gifts for people if you travel on a vacation with someone. This consists of a front and back cover, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interior pages. And these are made of cardstock. There is cardboard, a hard cardstock inside. So these are very nice and sturdy. But you can use your cinch for a project such as this. And these are the binding wires right there. There's one. And then here's another book that has not been completed. Now, the only thing I will say that I have a hard time with is getting these. This is why I like the spiral ones better. I have a hard time when I cinch these, or I you know, when you actually put them in the machine to pull them together. These wires, you can see here, let me open this. These come open. And then when you have your pages, you feed them on here, you place them in the cinch, and then you push it down, and these actually come full circle. to make, they close up. They close up on the inside here. So this East meets West, okay? Think of it that way. Now, this book I did not make. I purchased this from a gal that was going out of business when she used to do the crops. And I'm not real happy with it because you can see that there should have, to me, there should have been a smaller binding wire put on this book. And I may just take this apart at some point, and I may add some pages to it because I just don't like the way the pages flip. They're okay, but if you were to look at it, see how they get caught. So you just kind of have to be careful. So I may just take this right off, and I don't like the way she did a two-part here. I don't know why she just didn't come through. Maybe these were scraps. I have a lot of these little scraps, and you don't throw them away. You can use them like this, but I may just pull these, and you can pull these apart a little bit and redo them. So I might pull this apart and add pages so it's a little bit thicker. So these are the binding wires. And as far as the size, this is what I mean, that it depends on how many pages. See, this one turns, I made this book myself. This one turns much nicer, much easier, like a flip book should. So you really have to be careful with what size wire you use. So this is the smaller wire. And then again, now this is a larger wire. And I should show you, I should do a YouTube video on this as well. This makes a nice gift for someone. This is a small scrapbook. I made it a long time ago. I was going to sell it and I didn't. I made this back in, I think, 2010 maybe. But this is made, and I'm going to use it sometime. I think I'm going to keep it when my grandchildren arrive, and I'll do some family photos in here along with them. This book here is made from manila envelopes, mailing envelopes. And I don't know where I came up with the idea. I had never seen this before. And I made one. I've made many of these books for customers in my Etsy shop. And I just love them because with here at the top, you take it's a nice storage place. These are a lot of fun. You can see the storage here. So it's a manila envelope. These are wonderful if you have children in school. And these are great. I always thought it would be a great idea to start from kindergarten to 12th grade. And you could put their school picture. You put their school picture on one side, some miscellaneous playground pictures or whatever. Then in this pocket where you have your storage folder, you can put all of their awards. If they have a field day and they have blue ribbons, you can put them in there. I just think it's a wonderful idea. Now, I made two of these for a wonderful customer I've had over the years. Okay, you can also, I have these little, I used to call them love notes that I would make in my shop. You can embellish these just like you do a junk journal. This would make a beautiful junk journal. And you can put this is for notes, these little tags, little notes written notes that you can put in there. But so getting back, I made two of these for a wonderful customer, and her mother went to Italy on a special trip, and she wanted 2 books of just their trip from Italy. So she sent me all kinds of photos. She sent me travel itineraries, and I made 2. She wanted them identical. I made 2 of them for her, and her mother they both girls, the mother and daughter, absolutely love them. So this is a wonderful idea to use for your cinch machine. And like I said, this is quite old. I made this one back in maybe 2010. So you can see these are all made. I'm going to show you my next tool, and that is my Big Shot, where you can make die cuts, and you can make your own embellishments for your books. This was made on my Cricut machine. So I think maybe we'll do, if anyone's interested, this would be a really nice project. And you can see what I was going to say. The pages really are strong. What I do on the pages that do not have a fold flap, I will put a cereal box. If I want it a little bit stiffer, I will keep large cereal boxes, and I will put a cereal box inside. I mostly do that for the front cover, the front and back cover. So it's a little bit sturdier. There's a cereal box or two inside here to make it strong. But this is another lovely way to use your cinch machine. So that is all about the cinch. All right, the next large, because I want to get these large ones off my desk. My next favorite must-have, I use all the time, and I'm sure you all have one, but again, for any beginner out there or anyone that is sitting on the fence as to whether they should buy one or not, this is the Big Shot machine, and I can't live without this. Now, there's a gal that I follow on Instagram, Lisa, and she made a post yesterday. She actually did a story, and she was so excited because she had been on the fence, and she finally bought a Big Shot. And she said, I really don't know if I need it. I don't need another machine. However, she had bought this, and she showed where she had bought the, and again, go online if you're thinking about getting one. You can see exactly how it works. I didn't want to bring out all the templates. Oh, here's something stuck in here. I didn't want to bring out all the templates, the plates. You do need plates to run through your Thinlits and your other pieces that you have to make whatever you need. I highly suggest going to YouTube, watch a video, but I just wanted to show you this Big Shot because it's something that I use more than not. So just as an example, I really like little tiny envelopes. Now this is a Sizzix. This is the envelope and tag mini. I've had this for a long time. I love this set right here. This is one of my favorite little tag sets to make. And these are tiny. These measure out to, let me see if I can find a size. Yeah, let's look on the back here. These are 2 inches by 2 5/8 inch. And these are tiny. They're adorable. But I use this a lot. Love these. These are fun to embellish. So that's one. The other ones that I use on a regular basis, and this is one that Lisa bought with her machine. This is the Sizzix. This is the Tim Holtz. I call it a little ephemera pack, a little ephemera placeholder. I don't know what you call it. I make up my own names for these. But this is a great die cut. And I've made these before. And here are these are the other ones that I use quite often for tags and little photo slide folder holders. See, this is a little, I also, these I believe I got from AliExpress. If I can find where to open it. But these make very pretty tags. Don't mind me. This side. And these come in all different, as you can see, all different sizes here. And these are just wonderful. These are Thinlits. You do need a special, for the Big Shot, you do need a special plate to run these through. So I use these quite often. I'm always using my film strip, my slide film pieces. Let's put these back, because these I do not want to. And then this is the Tim Holtz. I use this a lot when I send Happy Mail, this one here. And when I send Happy Mail, I usually incorporate this into the back of a card, and then I just stuff it with all kinds of fun things for girls. So this is as far as I'm concerned, it's a must. And I really don't know what I would do if I lost that. All right, the other one, some of the other ones I like. Again, I like these little envelopes. This is another Sizzix. Now this one here must have been on sale, because I would never pay $24.99. So this might have been a half price, but you can see these are quite expensive. And that's what I say, don't ever buy anything for full price. Wait until it goes on sale, or wait till you have a 40% off coupon. And sometime, once in a while, not often, but they will put a Sizzix on sale for 50% off. It's rare, but, and this is another one that I use all the time because I love nature. And this, I'll show you the sizes of these. These are the little nature greens. I call them nature greens. This is a Thinlit. And it's a Tim Holtz again. And these make beautiful little flower leaves. But these are wonderful for embellishing your nature projects as well, or cards. So that's another one. I have many more, but these are the ones I'm showing you I pull a lot. You'll see a lot of times girls making these fun rosettes. I used to make them for my pennant garlands, these medallions, and I have one from Tim Holtz, and then I have one from Brenda Walton. Doesn't matter what one I use, they're both the same. Again, this one was on sale. This was $13.19. Again, I mean, it's not inexpensive, but if you find a project and you're going to use it over and over and over again, just buy it. Wait for it to go on sale, or wait for that coupon. Because by the time I order things online, I may pay twice as much for it, and I still need to use it. And the last one here, as far as a big chunky, you can see I use this a lot. This always has paper on it. But this again is Brenda Walton. It's a Sizzix, and these are small little envelopes, and these are minis. These are tiny, tiny, tiny. I don't know if you'd be able to find this. This is very old, but this is something that I really cherish. This would be in my Tuesday treasures if I made a Tuesday treasure. So, okay, so we've got all that. Those are the big items. I'm going to put those over there. The other items that I use on a daily basis are my creative memories, my paper rippers, or whatever you want to call them. And if you haven't seen these before, these just make different shapes with your paper. The edging, gives it more of a raw feeling. This one here I don't use a lot. However, when I scrapbook, and we're at the ocean or we're around a pool, I always use this side here because you can make it look like waves. If you rip one page, you rip a second page, you rip a third piece of paper in different color blues, you can layer them and stack them and make it look like a wave at the bottom. Sometimes it's fun. You can, if you can have a lot of fun with this one because you can actually cut out your children's. I know a lot of people don't like to cut their photos, but you cut your child's photo out if they're like with a beach ball in their hand at the ocean, uh, a pail and a shovel, cut, and then you can tuck the actual photo of them cut out, fussy cut out. You can tuck them behind the waves, and it looks like they're playing in the water. And then you can put your other photos on top of the actual, beach. So I use this side for a lot of beach days and vacation days. This here, if I'm hiking, I will use this. I will do mountainscapes. Again, I don't use these a lot, probably a couple times a year. When I hike, I do use this a lot, and I do hike a lot. This one here, again, this is great if you hike because this does look like a mountain range. So this makes a very nice, you could do a sunset behind this one here. This is my one that I rip and tear all of my paper on, this edge here. Now, you don't have to buy them from Creative Memories. I don't know the price of them. However, there are other companies. There's plastic ones that you can buy. I don't know how good the edging is. I know Gail Agostinelli has a plastic one she uses, and she seems to like it a lot. You could always shoot Gail a message to see how she likes hers. I just like the metal because I know it's not going to crack on me or do anything funky, bend or whatever. So I like the Creative Memory. Okay, let's go here. The other larger tool I use a lot is my Cropadile 2. They make a handheld one, and I see a lot of girls use that. However, I have some trouble with my hands. I don't have the strength in them that I used to have. I like this because I can just put two hands down on it when I cut through my cardboard. When I was making my pennant garlands, when I make my, my keepsake card holders, I use this all the time. So, and I have to go through thick cardboard and cardstock. Sometimes I will have to go through embellishments. This is great to go through a lot of different materials. And you can see here, this hair has two little spikes, so it just bites right through. And so I use this also for my tags. And when I make a larger tag, I use the We Are Memory Keeper, the eyelets. And this actually goes with the Cropadile. So I don't have to worry about them splitting. I have heard some girls say where they've used theirs and they split on the back and they don't work well. And I want to invest the money if I'm going to be putting something on a tag or making something for someone. I don't want it to split down the road. I don't want to have any trouble. So I think I got these through Amazon, and I think they were on sale. So you can always check there. So if you don't want to use these, what I do for a lot of my tags, and this will go right into another segment of one of my favorite little tools, is I love making the little paper hole protectors. We used to buy these. We used to get these as a kid. You remember these. They were white, and you'd lick them, and then you would put them on your school papers. So when you put them in your 3-ring binder, your paper wouldn't tear. Well, they do make a punch. And this is the 1-inch plus. and it's made by, I think this is made by, it's either EK Success or it's made by We Are Memory Keepers. I honestly do not remember, but this is a great little punch. And let me grab a scrap. Let's see. All right, I'll use this. I hate to say I don't want to use a good scrap, but it's weird to say that, but, and there you go. It's as easy as that. So, and then, you know, you can just glue it down, put a little piece of your, put a little bit of your art glitter glue around the hole, stick this down, and you're all set. And it just reinforces. So this is another tool that I really like. And I'll sit at night and I'll just punch while I'm watching TV. I'll just punch, punch, punch. And then I have a whole bunch of these and I keep them handy to use. So this is a nice little tool if you can find it or order it to have on hand. Okay, let's see. The other two punches that are a must for me, well, actually three. I have these two, and I just got this tab punch. Now, the tab punch, you can see here, it just does a half. So when I bought this, I thought it punched the, and I might not be using it properly, but I honestly thought that it punched. Now this is interesting because I'm just noticing this. There's two little things here. So I have not done this yet. I just want to see. I think if you line that up with that, and this is where I'm having some trouble. So let's see here. And why is this not punching? That's odd. So I'm going to push this all the way back in. All right, I have to push it all the way back in. So when I use these tags, because I have used these in my junk journal, these here I have to punch too. And then what I do is when I come to my page, I put one on my page and then I put the other on the back side of the page. But so that's what produces this tab here. And these are quite nice if you have a saying and you can punch it right out with the saying. And what I would do there is I would put my paper in wherever the saying is and I would line the saying up, okay? And then I would find that saying where it lined right up in here. So maybe one might say faith, hope, love, and then punch it out. And then you're good to go there. The other two punches I think you should have if you're making junk journals and you're making pockets or you're making anything you want to put something in is a good circle punch. I'm not going to tell you what size to buy. I use my 1 3/4. Excuse me. I use my 1 3/4 punch a lot. And this is where you say this was a corner tag here. So this was going to, let me just tear this. So say this was going to go in the corner of your page. And then you would want to, let me find a little something here to tuck. And just say hypothetically, this was your page and you wanted to just put something in here, but it wasn't this large. Well, this is where you take your punch and you're going to make just a little divot in it. And that would make it easier to pull out or whatever. There's two brands that I like. And this here is my other tag. This is a EK again. And this punch here creates this here, this shape. And then you can I would score this because I'm just showing you here, but fold it over. And then you have yourself a nice little tag again for on top of a card or whatever. All right. So that's what that's what that one would look like. All right, or you could put it on the side if you're going to do a side pocket. These are the three that I use all the time. This is from EK Success. This is from Stampin' Up. And the reason I like these may be a little more pricey. I have EK Success brands up, and their punches are anywhere from $9.99 to $17.99. Their large circle punch is $17.99, right around there. But again, it's with anything. If you want to do a good job, there are a few tools that you do want to invest the money in. And again, you can wait for a sale, but these I really like because they're a clean, precise, very sharp cut. You don't get your paper in there, and some punches you'll get it in and it gets stuck, and then it's like, how do I get the paper out? You're wrestling with it. You tear your project. I've had too many episodes like that, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to get a couple, really good punches that can be workhorses for me and that will do the job. So these are the three punches that I like to have on hand. They don't ever give me a problem. They're clean and concise, sharp, and that's why I have these as my to-go punches. Okay, the last thing, I just want to make sure this is the last item. No, I have one other item, and you're going to laugh at me when I show you that. The last two items are my papers. And I thought I covered this in part one, but I didn't when I went back. I did, but it didn't record. So my papers that I use for my digitals and for any nice color images. Let me see here. Let me see if I have. I may not have any on here. They may be all down in here. These I will use, excuse me, my cover stock from Staples. I use for all of Mrs. Cog's, excuse me, for all of Mrs. Cog's sayings that I use. I just find that it's a nice weight. It's a nice weight. This is 67 pounds. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a tickle in my throat. It's 67 pounds, 8.5 by 11. And I think it's just their basic cream color. But this is how it comes out. And I do enhance it with my Tim Holtz. Oh gosh, Barbie, come on. My Tim Holtz inks. And again, I use the Vintage Photo. Here's another one. This is how this comes out. I do a lot of stamping on this paper as well. So this is a real universal paper for me to use, and I really, really like it. This is my go-to paper. So again, when they have sales, I'll pick up, a few of these and have them on stock. And then for my digital images that I run off and that are in color, and I want nice, bright, clear colors, I use this Canon. It's Canon Pixma photo paper, 8.5 by 11. You get 50 sheets. It's 45 pounds, and it's matte photo paper. When you use this, you have to be careful because there is one side to use, and the back of it is a little bit yellow. It looks a little more, oh gosh, I'm going to stick with yellow. And you kind of have to look at it in the light. Make sure you run the white side through your printer. because that's the side that needs to go, and that will be, again, will produce the best color. If you run it through backwards, it's no big deal. It just won't be as bright. But this is how the images come out that I run through on this paper here. And I've always been very, very happy with it. I think it's wonderful quality. I think the colors just come out wonderful. They do not vary at all from the way the digital comes through when I download it. So now this one you can see, I believe this one might have been run on the Staples paper. You can see the difference. These are done with the Canon. This is done with the Canon. So yeah, so that's the paper that I use, and I'm very, very pleased with it. I really wouldn't use anything else. I'm used to the quality that I get, and I really like it. And then, okay, the last item I'm going to show you, and I'm sure everybody has one, but it is a very large sippy cup. I call them sippy cups, with a protective top on it. And you're going to think, what in the Sam Hill is she talking about? Because everybody has one. Well, yes, everybody has one, but not everybody uses it. And I learned the hard way. When I was in I'll give you something else to look at while I'm telling you the story. I'll flip through something. Let's see. Let me flip through my junk journal. And I got to get back to this in another video too. We'll put some embellishing in here. And we're back talking about my cup, not the junk journal. This is just so you have something to look at. I've had this cup. My girlfriend, the great crafter, made this for me after I had a major disaster. I had a cup, a coffee cup with a top on it. However, I didn't always use it. I would come up at my desk and I would have an open container. And we learned a long time ago at my husband's business, you do not have open containers at your desk. There's too much paperwork. There's too many things that could get ruined, destroyed. Computers, laptops. No open containers are allowed on your desk at work. Well, me being the exception and always saying, oh no, I don't need a napkin. I'm not going to spill anything at dinner time. Or, oh no, I'm good. I've got it covered. I was making for my wonderful customer who I made the Italian journals for, her Italy books. Her mother had requested a journal, a scrapbook for their priest. The priest was retiring, or the pastor, he was retiring. She wanted something that everyone could sign and put their name in. So I gave her my price. I told her I would charge her $225. She says, don't worry about it. Just make it, bill me, and ship it. So to make a long story short, I'm up in my craft room and I was almost done with the book. And I used my Cricut machine for many, many religious cutouts. I had pictures, I had beautiful pictures, cutouts of the cross. I had praying hands. I had children on their knees saying their prayers. And with your Cricut machine, you know, you can get very elaborate with a lot of images that you cut out. So like I said, the book was almost done. And I'm upstairs and I'm cutting away and I'm doing what I have to do. And it was a relief to have it done. And I had my cup of water to the left of my Cricut. Now I'm Polish and French. There's no Italian in me, but I love to talk with my hands. My boys make fun of me all the time because I'm constantly talking with my hands and doing gestures. Well, I'm up at my craft desk, and I went to reach for something, and I did one of these. My Cricut was running. It was cutting out its last final item for the book. The book was here. My Cricut was over. It's in my corner of my desk, and my cup was sitting to the left of the Cricut. And I went to reach for something, and my hand hit that, and I had a glass of water, and it went all over into my Cricut. And all of a sudden, my Cricut just stopped. And I was like, oh my heavens, what the heck did I just do? I unplugged my Cricut. I ran around. I had to pull my sheet out. If you have a Cricut, you know I had to pull the mat out with the paper on it, which isn't good for it. I turned my Cricut upside down. I drained all the water out of it. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. What an idiot I am. So to make a long story short, I put the hairdryer to it. I dried it out. I turned it back on, and it made a funky noise. I said, I'll give it a couple days to dry. And I called Cricut, and I talked to a wonderful gentleman there. He took me through a whole bunch of prompts and things that he wanted to see if it was damaged, if it could be repaired, whatever. Make a long story short, in the end, I had ruined it. It was a Cricut that I had for many, 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 many years. And again, it was my workhorse. And I did have a backup. However, a lot of the images I got off of the computer. I didn't have in a cartridge. So this one here, sitting behind the desk, flipping this journal, I told my husband, I said, you know what? You got to take me down to Hobby Lobby. I said, I have to finish this project. I've got to buy a new Cricut machine. I was so upset with myself because I planned on making, a little extra money for, little extras for me to buy. But the entire chunk of that project, the money I got from that scrapbook went to a new Cricut machine plus. So I think when I went down to Hobby Lobby, they only had one left. I had to get it because I had to finish the machine. So I think I actually lost money on that job because I think I paid $200 and I think it was over $225 that I paid. So please, please, everyone, don't sit at your desk unless you have a covered container with your drink in it. This morning I've got my protein drink in here that I've been sipping on. So this is a must. This is something that everybody should have. They should have a closed container at their desk. And yeah, that is definitely a must. So to protect yourself, to protect your work, to protect your machines, if it's an extra, you get to your desk and you say, oh, I forgot my drink, go downstairs, get it, make sure it's in a closed container. So that is all I have for you today. That wraps up part 2 of my favorite items, the things that I must have in my craft room. Thank you for watching. I hope that I helped you out if you were on the fence as to whether you are going to get, one of these die cut machines or, anything that may be a little bit more expensive. I hope I helped you make up your mind. And yeah, I'm going to start my day now. I'll be doing a little bit of crafting, and I hope everybody has a good week, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.